Hello YouTube, my name's Sean Connors and welcome back to Outsiders. Hello, today we're going to be discussing calendars in gaming worlds. This is a separate program. It's a bit, I suppose it's in the Campaign Builder program series really. So many questions have been asked around the emphasis I've put on my gaming world's calendar, why I came to some of the decisions I did and a few nuances around it. Because you guys have asked, I decided that this was a great opportunity to answer. So why do I feel a calendar in a game world is very, very important to setting the tempo? Well, here's the reason why. First off, the calendar itself can add so much to your fantasy setting, because if you think about it, if you imagine, we live in a world where we have 365 days a year, we have 12 months of varying length, we have a 24-hour cycle. Now, if you just think about that 24-hour cycle, and imagine the world's axis had slowed slightly, one way or the other, so it actually slowed, it would mean the days were longer. If it sped up, they'd be shorter. Now, the impact is phenomenal. If you just put your mind into that from a fantasy point of view or writing point of view, that's awesome. Think of the campaigns you could write around that. I mean, imagine the world had slowed and it was 30-hour days, and you had an even split 15 hours of light and 15 hours of darkness. Think about how more difficult spells would be, and in terms of you have to wait till the very next morning to be able to relearn your spells on that evening. I mean, that's a huge impact on the religions. It would be as if the gods are losing touch with their world. So it has a huge impact. Now, in my particular game world, what I've done is I've kept things fairly simple. So I'm going to go really on to the building part here. So I made a decision. It's the same decisions that any of you can make, really. I was going to have 12 months calendar year. I was going to base them on various important significances from my game world past. So the first emperor was going to be given a month. A particular catastrophe was going to be given a month. Just to create that flavour. I mean, it's nothing particularly clever. I did some simple things. I made sure that my calendar was built up of even months. So it's 30 days per month, 360 days a year. Just easy mathematics, really, for me to be able to break down and put in place when the moons would exist. When the beginning of a new moon, the end of the moon. Very easy to plot, because it'd be the same on each of the months. I could then look at things like the high masses and low masses and slot those in each month according to various factors. Brilliant, really, absolutely brilliant. Really makes it very easy to do. And then for the extra effort that it required, that's why I added the element of piety on top, so it was easier then to mark on the various religions on the calendars when their festivals are. Now, that's a conscious decision that you'd have to make. So, when are the festivals? When are they important to that particular religion? Are they constant throughout the year over the various months for different reasons? Is it just one time period of the year, just that tiny little window where they have true festivals, and the rest of the time is influenced by their actions? Those are the sort of things that you can consider when you're actually planning and plotting your calendars. I've used simple Excel spreadsheets to do it. Anybody can. Mine are very simple, as you may remember from previous programs. So it's very simple, 30 days blocked out. It's easy to track information on there. Equally, it's easy for me to put the festival days. It's easier for me to plot whose festival it is. I deliberately kept my game world fairly simple, so there were 10 key religions. There's nothing saying that you don't actually, if you want to keep it even more simple, you could have 12 religions, and each one of those religions has 1 month of the year devoted to them. It's whatever way you want to play it, but calendars are so critical in games. I think they're often underused and not really well looked at. I mean, I use a 7-day cycle. There's nothing saying that, in my world, to keep it similar. I always find within games that players are able to lock in easier if there are elements that they can be quickly familiar with. That's not to say that you can't go extreme. I've seen some DMs who have created some fantastically intricate calendars which have great flavour, where they've used the 30-day cycle, for example, but they've had 10-day weeks, and each of the days of the week have been reflective of different things. And I personally think that's a fantastic way, when you start breaking it down, to really look at things. I love that. So I say calendars are critically important in anybody's campaign, certainly worth a look, and clearly something that could be favourable for you. On the back of that as well, somebody asked me, this isn't really part of any particular program, but it's very applicable in this case. about the piety itself. How's that actually working in my game world? Does it fit in and work well? The answer is yes, it is. I'd like to see it more used, but it's definitely working very well, and it really emphasises for me some of the things I was hoping that it would achieve. For example, when we're talking about raising dead, that somebody is that pious or has that much faith that they're able to achieve it only comes with time, experience, worship, following their religion. It sort of all makes sense when you think about it. There should be you've got to have worked at something to get to the upper echelons of it. I'm not saying restricting anything for any of the players. I just think it gives another element to it. It makes it seem so much better, so that people carry out. I've got it here, you know, so that people carry out prayers, fastings, confessions, daily masses, high masses, feast. There are loads of different ways to earn piety. We've already spoke about it before. We've looked at the pantheon. It just really works. So coming back to the key point here, and I'm sorry if I've divulged a little, calendars are critical in anybody's campaign. Works very well. I've added a layer of piety in there. I think that works quite well as well. Anyway, I've been Sean Connors. This has been Outsiders. Till the next time. Happy gaming. Take care of yourselves.